Welcome back, you guys. Thank you so much for joining us again. Welcome back to the Millennial Classics with yours truly, Maburi Makaya and Swadik Mayanja. Maburi, how you doing today?
Doing pretty good.
Very good. On this podcast, we talk about the best and most memorable movies, music, and culture-changing events of our generation. And this week is another doozy. We've got to host 3 weeks in a row, this time from a different podcast. Audrey is joining us from Lights, Camera, Analysis. Audrey, welcome.
Thank you so much for having me.
I'm going to steal it.
What?
I'm going to steal the Declaration of Independence.
Boom! Shakalaka turtle! You're out on the floor! Ejectocito, cuz! It worked! I love this part! Please! Come on!
Goodbye, Benny.
Oh, of course. So this is going to be a little spicy, ladies and gentlemen. We decided to bring a lady onto the show because the movie that we decided to watch, the movie that I had to convince Maburi to do is, well, Maburi, you tell us the movie. Audrey, you jump in, introduce yourself, and tell us why that movie is a classic.
So the movie we're doing is Mean Girls, and I'll let Audrey explain why.
So I am shook when people I know have not seen Mean Girls. And if you saw it and didn't like it, it's even worse. Like I don't relate. I don't understand. I was talking to my boyfriend about this recently. I think that it's just a wonderful film. The quotability on point. Like there's no way that if you hadn't seen this movie that you haven't at least heard like On Wednesdays We Wear Pink. Like it's everywhere.
Right.
The relatability and the realism of this film, like the level of critique that it offers, the satire is wild and it is absolutely timeless. So if you were born a millennial and you haven't seen it, like you need to have seen it. You need to go and see it. You definitely know a lot about what's going on. And it's not about the plot because the plot is whatever. It's about the movie. Like it's important. It's an important milestone.
Ooh, Burry, I am excited. Ladies, this is why we're having Audrey on. Burry, we just upgraded our podcast. She said the word satire. Have we said it?
No, I don't think we've used that word once.
We need you, Audrey. Thank you for joining us. Thank you.
This map shows the school's central nervous system, the cafeteria.
You got your cool Asians, burnouts, jocks, the greatest people you will ever meet, and the worst.
So you've never been to a real school before? Shut up. Shut up.
I didn't say anything. Plastics. Who are the plastics?
Where did you guys watch this the first time? And what did you remember about the movie before the rewatch? We could start with you, Audrey.
So I watched it for the first time when I was 8 years old. And I remember this really, really vividly. I was sitting with my cousins and I remember thinking like, this is so inappropriate. I'm not allowed to watch this. I'm being so bad. And I felt so guilty for like 2 years. And then like I rewatched it. And then I got like felt bad again. And then I told my mom when I was 10, I was like, I watched a really bad movie, Mean Girls. And she was like, oh, it's a great movie. Like, good choice. That's my memory.
That's a good mama. What did you remember about the movie? Like when we asked you to rewatch it for this podcast, what did you remember about the movie before you rewatched it?
I would say my main memories were of like the most quoted classic lines, like why don't we all just stab Caesar scene stayed in my mind. You go Glen Coco and none for Gretchen Wieners, like that little piece. Mostly just lines and less what was happening in those scenes.
Oh, of course. This movie is lines on lines. On lines! Burry!
Yeah.
When did you watch it? What did you remember before the rewatch?
So I'm the exact opposite. Cannot remember where I watched it the first time. But it's one of those movies where you just hear quotes about it. If you just like live, you just hear like little quotes about it, little like iconic scenes that you just hear about. And then I probably watched it in high school on DVD somewhere and then haven't watched it since. So that's why I was like on the fence about it being a millennial classic, but rewatched it. Pretty good. lot of stuff I remember, obviously, like off the jump. And yeah, that's what I remember. Not much.
So I don't think you were on the fence on this. I think you were just wrong.
I think you were just side of the fence.
You were on the other side. But I have to say thank you for doing it because this movie is epic. Where did I watch it? I don't remember. What did I remember from it? There was only one thing I remembered from this movie before I rewatched it, and it was Regina getting hit by the goddamn bus. I mean, that was like what I remember from this movie. But after watching it, there's so like that is like my bottom. It's like it's at the bottom of why I like this movie. Everything about this movie is fantastic. Okay, I love this movie. You said you watched this movie when you were 8 years old. Are you even a millennial?
That's wild.
Audrey, are you a millennial?
I'm on that cusp. I was born in 97.
Okay. My goodness. All right.
It was like, I thought it was, so when I watched it, I thought that it was like an old movie, but it had just come out.
Maveri, we are getting old as fuck. Say. Anyways, jump with me in this time machine. Ladies and gentlemen, last week we did Spider-Man 2. And it was the same year. So April 30th, 2004. I had to really go digging to find this time machine facts and tidbits to remind you of the situation. And I've got a little spicy thing at the end for you, Maburi, because I know you like your favorite movies, but I switched it up on you. Okay. Right. The top song that year was Yeah by Usher and Little John. Banger. Yep. Banger, right? That might be in one of them
millennial classic. That's a millennial classic.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. The silicone wristbands first became a huge
Live
thing.
Strong? Oh
Live
my
Strong,
God.
Yes, by Lance Armstrong. That's when things started to pop off. And I don't know what it was like in your middle school / high school experience, but like 4 years later, 2008, you would have kids with like 19 of them on one. It was too much. It got too much. I'm happy that ended. 2004 Olympics, Michael Phelps won his 8th medal. That was huge because 2004, we just had
that was Athens, right?
Athens. And in 2016, Michael Phelps was still winning gold. This dude is, yes, special man. And this was, I hate to bring back bad memories, but he is the leader of the free world. First season of The Apprentice was aired, and the quote of the year was "You're fired." Could you believe that? The quote of the year was "You're fired."
That's so sad.
That's a shitty year when you think about Donald Trump. Mumbury, I know you love going down the list of movies, and I don't feel like you're a big TV guy, but would you be able to tell me the top 5 TV shows of 2004 based on the Nielsen TV research rating?
Yeesh. Is it 2.5 Men?
Nope.
Is it was Friends around by then?
I don't know. I only have top 5, but it's not in the top 5, so I'm guessing it wasn't.
Is Lost? Did Lost premiere that year?
Nope. You
then
definitely don't.
Then I'm done. Dude,
Was How I Met Your Mother big then?
No. Well, the thing is, maybe, but I only do the top 5, and this is by the Nielsen, right? Any other guesses before I go down the list?
No, there's no chance.
Yeah, I hear you. Were 0 for 3.
Wait. No, Everybody Loves Raymond, right?
False. You're wrong again. Number 5, Without a Trace on CBS. Number 4, CSI Miami on CBS. Number 3, Desperate Housewives was still popping in 2004. Number 2, American Idol. And number 1, the straight CSI from CBS.
The one I should have gotten was American Idol.
Your American Idol, you should have guessed. That's the one I thought you were going to guess. That's Ruben Studdard's here, right?
Yeah. Clay, what's his face?
Yeah. I don't know. I'm thinking of Kelly Clarkson. I don't know who is.
He was the one who came in first or second that year or something.
Whatever. But those are the top 5 shows: CSI, American Idol, Desperate Housewives, CSI Miami, and then Without a Trace. I don't even know what Without a Trace is, but it's a movie. I mean, it's a TV show. Burry, how is this movie made? Who's the director? Any gossips during the movie making?
We'll do the gossip. Well, not gossip, like the casting.
The casting, yeah. That's
questions after. But director was Mark Waters, who I didn't know who he was, but this is the second time he worked with Lindsay Lohan. He did Freaky Friday, which I honestly, for some reason, I remember Freaky Friday way more than I remember this movie. And
I don't blame you because Freaky Friday is one of those movies that were like
Like
on
you playing,
exactly.
yeah,
Yeah.
and and teachers have like those movies. You know those movies teachers have that you like play on Fridays when it's like when they're just tired and they want to go home.
That's a Freaky Friday movie.
The producer was Lorne Michaels from SNL, and it was written by Tina Fey because she read a book called Queen Bees and Wannabes, and she adapted it. She wanted to adapt it, so she went to Lorne Michaels. So it's kind of like an SNL movie, but it's way better than, I can't think of an SNL movie that's as good as this.
Yeah.
The box office, it did really well. 130 worldwide, which is really good for a comedy, and the budget was only 17 mil.
That's amazing.
So, and then Rotten Tomatoes knocked it out of the park, 84%.
Love that. The fact that it made so much money, I think it's a cultural movie. It took over the culture. So that makes sense. But 17 million doesn't sound like a lot, right? But if they were in a high school the entire time, right?
None of the it's not like the cast was expensive.
Oh yeah. Well, when we get
we'll
to
talk about the cast. The cast is like one of the best parts of the movie.
I love it. Love the fucking cast. All right, let's get into the dates of this great movie that is Mean Girls. Mumbari, tell us your favorite scenes, and let's jump on in.
All right, so this one was tough because it was almost like Iron Man when I couldn't think of like scenes that stood out because the movie it was like paced really well and it just kept going. So I just enjoyed. Like the scenes that stood out were pretty much really short, or like the first day of school intro with doing a bit of exposition and they're just explaining and they got jokes like the homeschool joke in the beginning.
Yes.
I know what you're thinking. Homeschooled kids are freaks.
XYLOCARP. Silent carp.
Or that we're weirdly religious or something.
And on the third day, God created the Remington bolt-action rifle so that man could fight the dinosaurs and the homosexuals.
Amen.
And
that scene.
And Tina Fey with the teacher. I'm with the African student, and she just picks out the black girl and is like, "Welcome."
She just moved here from Africa.
Welcome. I'm from Michigan.
Great.
I really enjoyed the whole scene, and it's that scene and the next one because they're pretty much really close. Where the Regina Georgian show all the way into the cafeteria, and it's like interviews, real quick interviews, and then it zooms around the cafeteria. It's cut really well. Where it seems like the movie is like, it doesn't seem like a 2004 movie, and those two scenes are those are two of the top three that I got.
Okay, so you're saying, so you're saying the intro and straight into like that second
the Regina
day.
George like villain build up where she's like being carried down the
because that shit happens at fucking high school.
Yeah.
What's happening?
And evil takes a human form in Regina George. Don't be fooled, because she may seem like your typical selfish, backstabbing, slut-faced hoe bag, but in reality, she is so much more than that.
No, let's talk about these scenes. Let's break these two scenes down. In the beginning, that first intro when the parents are talking to her and you think she's talking to like a little baby and you find out that it's just a teenager that has been homeschooled, hilarious. And that homeschool joke with those religious country kids who are like, we fight the homosexual.
Yeah.
I'm like, what is going on? What is going on?
If you go on like IMDb and they have like the list of the cast, for some reason the homeschool kids are like really high up on their list. They're like some of the most important people in the cast for some reason, and I'm like, are you the most paid? Like, this doesn't make sense.
I don't understand how IMDb ever does those. Like the list of the cast, it always confuses me because I was looking for Jason, the mathlete dude. I love that dude. I was looking for him. I was looking for him, and he's all the way down the list. I know exactly what you mean, Audrey. But for those specific scenes, any thoughts? Did those pop out to you specifically, Audrey?
No, I think that it's like really, really strong exposition. Like, I think the exposition is really strong. I think I did think of the Regina George introduction, the Karen, like I think how they introduced each of those characters is hilarious. Especially like Janet says, she asked me how to spell orange. Like that stuck with me. I remember being 8 years old and being like, how do you spell orange? I don't want to be like Karen. I need to know how to spell orange. But I think the introduction of at like the very beginning of the movie though, just like right over my head every time I watch it, because I'm like, yeah, I know what she's like. It's whatever. I was more drawn to kind of like the more critical, like the Halloween sequence.
Oh, at the party?
This is how women do Halloween, and nobody told me that. Like the unspoken rules. Like I love the unspoken rules of being a woman pieces.
Ooh, we'll get into the deets of that. I have a whole lot of questions about those unspoken rules. Okay, but going back to that second day, Missy Elliott. I mean, just the soundtrack to this movie is fantastic, right?
Yeah.
I love Missy Elliott. And the lunch scene, like when they're going over and just showing like this is where the Asians sit. This is, you guys, they throw around the R. Okay, I'll say it once. They use retarded like 7 times in this movie. Like it's you know, Regina has no shame in using the R word heavy. I mean, she's like throwing it with an elbow every time she uses it. It's kind of insane, right?
Honestly, as far as things that didn't age well, that at least I can understand because I guess it was 2004. The part that was way off was the casual jokes about the gym teacher and the Asians. The entire movie, that was just weird. That was like at least the R word. It was like in high school at that point. Actual high schoolers were talking like that. The other one was just like the principal was just real casual with the gym teacher. And then they just kept on making jokes about it and him running away. And that was the one that was like, yeesh.
Yeesh is an understatement. And last thing about that second day, and then we could jump to your third scene, and then we'll go to the Halloween scene. The dude, what's his name? I always forget the dude. The gay best friend. Damien. Yes, Damien. I love the fact that he was in the bathroom, and then when that chick was like, "Why are you here?" He's like, "Danny DeVito." I love that scene. All right, what's the third scene you picked, and then we could jump to Audrey's favorite scenes.
Yeah, we should probably. I mean, that third scene is like all the way at the end. So we should go to Audrey's scenes.
Perfect. Halloween parties. Let's start there because you mentioned it. Audrey, talk to us about the Halloween party.
Okay, so I love we start with okay, there are unspoken rules about what Halloween means in this world that teach you that there's a hard line to walk as a woman between you need to be sexy but desirable, which means you can't be a whore but you can't be a prude.
And work on my costume. In the regular world, Halloween is when children dress up in costumes and beg for candy. In girl world, Halloween is the one night a year when a girl can dress like a total slut and no other girls can say anything about it. The hardcore girls just wear lingerie and some form of animal ears.
So you gotta do this exact, it has to be a Halloween costume, which means sexy dress with bunny ears. It's very particular. And then she's like, I didn't know that. And she comes out in just the ugliest costume. And I love that sequence because it's definitely so you know the girls who have gone in not real costumes to school and been like, what are you? Those are whiskers. You could be any creature. You're just wearing a color. So I just loved that entire sequence. And I was taking notes at age 8, okay, this is how I do Halloween.
Do you have a favorite Halloween costume, Audrey?
I really I had a Catwoman costume that I really enjoyed. Because every superhero woman pretty much looks the same, so I could use the same costume.
Okay, so I have to ask this question because I'm not going to pretend you just said that you have to be a sexy. Are you the girl that is wearing the sexy ass outfits, or are you the girl that is just wearing the Lindsay Lohan crazy fucking costume?
I don't understand. I don't understand the point of like doing something that's like way too scary. I think you need to wear like a normal costume. I'm really into like full costume. I think you need to be like fully in character, but I'm not going to wear something like ugly. I think it's nice to wear something that's just like a great costume that like looks cute, but I don't like when Karen's like, I'm a mouse, duh. I'm like, no.
I hate that.
You gotta have the full mouse costume. Where are your paws? Where is your tail? Like this is not. I'm like very into Halloween, and I'm like, let's get in character. Like,
what's the dude equivalent of just putting on mouse ears?
Well, as a nurse, what I do is I get a white coat and call myself a doctor with scrubs. That's definitely a cheating way of doing it, but that's also because I'm a lazy costume maker. Back to the movie though, when she leaves the Halloween party, and that like jock dude was like, "That's a scary mask, dude." I was dying.
Ah! That's a scary mask, bro.
She looked legitimately ugly, like with the teeth and everything. Crazy.
The teeth to be over. I was like, the teeth. Why would you wear fake teeth to a party?
Honestly, if it was everything but the fake teeth, I think it would have been perfectly fine. Yeah. It would have been like 100% committed, which is appreciated. But the fake teeth was just like, it
was too much. It was way, way too much. Any more scenes? More scenes from you, Audrey, that really stood out to you?
Oh my God. I think and reference all the time to like, I'm not like other moms. I'm a cool mom.
Yeah.
Like, I love that one. And then when just both of the times we see Amy Poehler and then she comes back, she's like, do you kids need anything? Like, snack? Like, just like the idea of what it would mean to be a cool mom. It's just like such a sad depiction of like a parent. I feel like she's like the idea of what people are like, oh, she's just like such a rich white mom. Like, who just like lets her daughter do anything. And she's just terrible at being a parent.
Welcome to our home. Just want you to know, if you need anything, don't be shy, okay? There are no rules in this house. I'm not like a regular mom. I'm a cool mom.
The shot of the dad just looking... Honestly, that was probably the saddest shot of the entire movie, with the dad just like, you could just see the pain. And does he speak?
No, I don't think so.
Doesn't speak at all. And you're just like, this dude he definitely is just getting bullied in that household. I mean, he doesn't even sleep in his own bedroom. The daughter sleeps in the master bedroom, which is wild.
I convinced my parents to trade rooms.
What?
What does that mean?
Do you remember when the little girl is watching Girls Gone Wild? That's the one that stuck with me. I'm just like, oh my God. The like little details. The little details are so well done.
And then the classic, do you want booze? Because, I mean, I'd rather you drink it here.
Is there alcohol in this?
Oh God, honey, no. What kind of mother do you think I am? Why do you want a little bit? Because if you're going to drink, I'd rather you do it in the house.
No, thank you.
I love you, Audrey, but that's the whitest quote of the movie. Like, that's what white parents said all the time. I'd rather you drink here.
You do it here.
That's not what
16. What are you talking about?
Can I just say, the dog biting the fake boobs? What the fuck is going on? What is going on in this movie, you guys? The dog is legitimately chewing her nipple while we watch it. Amy Poehler is such a great actress. I mean, she's in the movie for like 3 minutes altogether, and she's yes.
But it honestly feels like she's just doing like an SNL.
Oh yeah, 100%. Because there's no parent that could be that insane, that crazy. She asks her daughter while that football dude or soccer dude is humping her, do you need any condoms? What? What?
That dude's the FBI agent from Blacklist, bro.
Oh, for real?
Yeah, I had to look that shit up because I was like, I've seen this dude somewhere.
This is the details you come to Millennial Classics for.
You got to connect those somehow.
Amen. More scenes, Audrey. Any more scenes?
Okay. And then the other scene I have to mention is the like, why don't we all just stab Caesar?
Yeah.
Why should Caesar get to stomp around like a giant while the rest of us try not to get smushed under his big feet? What's so great about Caesar? Brutus is just as cute as Caesar. Okay, Brutus is just as smart as Caesar. People totally like Brutus just as much as they like Caesar. And when did it become okay for one person to be the boss of everybody, huh? Because that's not what Rome is about. We should totally just stab Caesar!
Because classic, though, like, we must reference the text or content from class. I didn't even know the story of Caesar for like way too long, like embarrassingly long. And I still was like, okay, I know from Mean Girls that there's like a stabbing, like.
And Brutus was Brutus is getting shoved to the side and deserves better.
Of course. Because who gets to tell, why does Caesar get to tell everyone what to do?
Like, it's just the most, like, I feel like they were like, well, what could we connect to this story? Well, what's the most unlikely connection? I know. Julius Caesar.
Julius Caesar. Fucking the Roman Empire. But look, listen, real talk. I mean, power is power is power. Are you comparing just high school power to the fucking Roman Empire? But Regina, I wouldn't fight Regina George no matter. Regina is the Julius Caesar of the 21st century.
Oh, yeah.
You could tell exactly who Regina George was when they kicked her out of the table. And she was the only one with a car. And you could just tell as soon as she got kicked out of the table, she was like, good luck walking home. And I was like, that's exactly the person. I know exactly who that is. Mm-hmm. As soon as they out, everyone's walking home. The people with cars in high school,
yes,
definitely had the juice.
They had the juice. And that scene specifically, I love that scene so much because the really big girl, right after she gets kicked out, she's like, watching where you're going, fat ass. And I'm like, this movie.
It's just like you show a crack of weakness and you're done.
Fine. You can walk home, bitches. That's where you're going, fat ass.
You're done. You're done. They tear you apart. Audrey, any more scenes, or did you hit the ones that you?
Those were my main three.
Those were the main three. Mumbura, your last favorite scene.
I really like the end when Regina just decides to like blow everything up.
Yep.
And she gives Tim Meadows, the principal, the book. And clearly it's her book because she's just like, there's only 3 girls that aren't in it. And those 2 words are like lying bitch or whatever. When she puts the paper underneath and it blows up, and then like it's supposed to be like African drum beats.
Yes.
In the background, but it's so loud and Regina's standing over like everyone.
Mom, can you pick me up? I'm scared.
And they're all fighting with each other. And I literally like first thought was Bane in The Dark Knight Rises.
Oh shit.
Because of that, like the score, it seemed like a Hans Zimmer type score. And it literally was just like, I was really like, oh shit. Because it literally was like her villain moment.
Yes.
Peak. Because up until now, she's just, I guess she's mean, but it seemed like she was just a little bit meaner than all the other girls.
Mm-hmm.
But that was like a actual villain moment.
Yes.
And I was like, yeah, she just she took over Gotham right there.
That's peak bad guy for Regina. I love that you picked that. That was close to being one of my favorites. Did you separate her talking to the principal versus the gymnasium meeting? Because the
gymnasium meeting is its own thing.
It's its own thing. Okay. You guys, I am very disappointed in the both of you. I am extremely disappointed in the both of you. How can we talk about Mean Girls and not talk about the talent show? How is that even possible? So that in the talent show, I don't know, is that the look the dad you were talking about? Because
no.
Oh, you saying when they were getting ready for Halloween, that was the look.
Yeah.
Okay.
It just sounds so sad.
But at that talent show, you guys, okay, the singing, great fun. But even before you get to the jingle bells, the mathlete dude, Jason, his whole rap situation, how can you not love Jason?
No.
The G silent when I sneak in your door.
Make love to your woman on the bathroom floor.
What are you talking about? KG and the power of 3?
He was too much. She was too much.
Too much, bro.
Bro, he was the most confident, craziest dude in the
it's just like, because that kid, did he ever get bullied? They don't show him ever getting bullied
because
in the movie.
You can't bully.
He has friends. He has athletes. I don't know why at least they actually made him like just a regular kid that's just super into math. But that rap was just
too much. Top. Of course it was, because it's Mean Girls, right? And then you get into the actual song and dance. Like, I've never felt more uncomfortable watching a movie, right? Like, you're watching that school dance, and when they slap their skin, like this is some strip club, I'm like, how is this happening at a high school talent show? And
they do this every year.
And they do it every year, number one. And then most importantly, I mean, they win. None of the adults there are saying anything. Regina George runs the town, not just the high school, not just the grade. She runs the goddamn town. And the singing, I thought it was a nice touch.
What a bright time. It's the right time to rock the night away. Jingle bell time is the swell time to go riding in a one-horse sleigh.
That isn't my favorite scene. I was just disappointed it wasn't talked about because it's the Mean Girls. And my favorite scene is definitely the gymnasium meeting. I love the gymnasium meeting. When right before that, when they in that big animal fight out there, and the principal says, "I did not leave fucking the south side of Chicago to come here." Love that quote.
Hell no, I did not leave the south side for this.
But that Miss Norbury, Tina Fey in this movie, after watching this, I was like, I need to go watch 30 Rock, because I thought the writing was fantastic. The fact her part in this movie is fantastic. Just like everything comes to like the crescendo at the fight. And then you have to go to this gymnasium meeting. And when Regina George tries to leave and everyone's like, I've been, what's it called? Victimized by Regina. And even the teachers and the principal raises his hand. Love it. I don't understand. The Chinese, are they Chinese or Korean?
I think they were.
But they did him dirty in this movie.
Well, they did him really dirty. But if you read the subtitles when they were speaking, they say nigga please. Guys. In Chinese, they say nigga please. I don't know how I'm supposed to feel. And they're arguing about a 40-year-old PE teacher.
Yeah.
It doesn't make sense. It just doesn't make sense. Damien, the fact that Damien is there and he screams, she doesn't even go here.
That's the other line.
Right?
The best one was when we're going to be here all night. And he's like, yeah, you can't be here today. And he's like, all right, we'll be here till 4.
I really, really, really enjoy that scene. That is easily my favorite scene. Bumburi, I thought you told me the 3 scenes that you like the most, but you didn't say which one's your favorite.
Probably the Regina George going full villain.
Full villain. That makes sense. Yeah, that is definitely like a peak of the movie. And Audrey, do you have a favorite, or is it just those specific? I'm guessing, is it the Caesar?
I think my favorite. No, I feel like I always have to talk about the references, but am always stuck on if I like the fact that that's a trope. I'm always like a little bit stuck on that. But my favorite one is definitely Amy Poehler. I'm not like other moms. I'm a cool mom.
Yeah, she's a cool mom. She's a cool mom. Of course she is. Least favorite scene, you guys. Is there a least favorite scene? Did you pick a least favorite scene? If so, which is it?
I feel like Q is going to not like the hit by the truck scene is my least favorite scene.
Oh yeah,
because
it foreshadowed it a little bit though with the first day of school.
Exactly,
it just feels too unrealistic. Like I feel like everything else is like, oh cool, I got you, and then it's like she got hit by a truck. I don't. Who gets hit by a truck? When is that? Why? Why is that what happened?
Look, so I don't feel bad at all. Look, listen, the reason I remember it is because it stood out so much, but that's what I remembered before watching the movie. It means nothing to me. That scene, like I said, it's at the bottom for me. I don't even think about that scene now after watching it, but yes, that is ridiculous on a level that I don't understand. It is ridiculous. Burry, least favorite scene?
It would probably be you're not going to like this, but the talent show.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Just I don't know. Not a lot happening there, I don't think.
I mean, the talent show is like the talent show is a staple of the movie. Of course, we could disagree, but yeah, I think you're wrong. But yeah, it's your least favorite scene. it's your least favorite scene. I don't have a least favorite scene, but if I had to pick one, gun to my head, it would probably be when the plasticness starts to get to Lindsay's head, and there's like, I don't know if it's a montage or there's a couple of scenes where like Lindsay's talking about Regina all the time at the soap store. She's like, I have this theory that if you shave Regina's head, she'd look like a man. Like that whole thing where like now Lindsay Lohan is a mean girl. I was like, boo, like next, right? But I thought, like you said, because it's a high school movie and one scene just meshes into the other, and whenever things get slow or boring, there's always a zinger or one-liner that makes you giggle or brings you back into the movie. That's why I didn't want to pick a very specific scene, but that was the longest serious time of the movie where I was like, this kind of sucks. I'm a little bored. Moving forward. Okay, so we have do we want to do quotables or we want to, we have to talk about the cast. What am I talking about? We've got to talk.
Yeah, we haven't talked about, Lizzie Kaplan as Janice, and then and Amanda Seyfried also is in this. And both of them were just like, I just forgot they were in the movie until I watched it again.
Yes. Are you saying you forgot that they were in the movie because I forgot a lot of the actresses and actors, but
I knew like.
Were you disappointed by them? Is what I'm saying.
No.
Okay.
No.
So let's jump and talk about the cast. MVP. Let's start with Audrey. Audrey, MVP of the movie, favorite actor, actress in the movie.
I think Rachel McAdams sold this movie. I think that if she wasn't in this movie, I'm not sure who else could carry it like she did, because I thought that she freaking killed it. Like there would not be a movie without her.
Burry?
I completely agree. It's like you almost can't give it to Lindsay Lohan because Rachel McAdams being Regina George and then everyone else trying to be her, she kind of has to carry the movie because she's who I think it's not even close. I think she just knocks it out of the park.
Yes. I think this is just a sweeping agreement. Regina is the perfect mean girl. Right from the get, she is the perfect mean girl. Gretchen, I feel like sometimes the acting is too much and it's too out there. The other girl who, the silly girl.
Cousins with the cousin?
But the cousin, exactly. So Gretchen.
It's okay. We're first cousins. We're not cousins.
No, because you have cousins and then first cousins. And then, no, boo-boo. That's not how it works, right? But yeah, I think Regina is the perfect mean girl. She carries the movie. The movie's about her. She is the mean girl. MVP, not even close. LVP, least valuable actress or actor.
This is just because of I saw who could have been cast, but Aaron Samuels. I read that James Franco was considered for that part, and I was like, dude, James Franco, I know he did Spider-Man 2, but he would have killed it as Aaron Samuels.
He should have done that instead.
Yeah.
How long are people going to care about 3 times ago Spider-Man 2 compared to...
Oh, we just did that classic.
I know, but oh my God. But I feel like those Spider-Mans I loved. Most people I feel were this is not that great.
Well, James Franco's parts in those Spider-Mans it's not a good part. He has to play an angsty son.
Billionaire. Agreed 100%. I have Aaron as my least favorite part of this movie. He's just like a pretty dude face guy. Like there's nothing about him. He's stupid in math. At the end of the movie, you're supposed to believe he goes to Northwestern. Who are you lying to? Who are you lying to? Right? It's just like, get out of here. Just get out of here.
Sports scholarship, maybe.
Maybe, but whatever the situation is, he was just that dude. There was nothing interesting about him. There was nothing. It was nothing. Do you have a different least favorite character, LVP, Audrey?
Yeah, I was thinking of the like big four.
Oh, okay. Talk to me.
Like Gretchen Wieners, I think could have been acted better. Like I think that it was done well, but it could have been great. Like I feel like she did overact a lot of it, and I feel like it played a little bit subtler. The lines were great and could have been delivered more subtly in a way. Because I kind of watching her was like, I don't believe that you're not telling these secrets to people. I just don't believe it. And I know she's not really supposed to, but she's just too loud to not tell everyone all these secrets.
Yeah, Gretchen is on the border with me, but I have to say, when we was the scenes with the three-way calls was such a throwback to me. I was like, this is such a throwback. I don't know if this is something you guys did, but you'd have a three-way call, and then you would have someone not say any. I love that. And then they had that four-way with the. I have to remember the name. I can't keep calling her the dumb girl. What's her name?
Karen.
No, is it Karen? Is it Karen? With Karen, and she's switching over, and she forgets who she's talking to, and she's like, "You're so annoying." Love it, love it.
The other LVP in this, though,
go ahead.
Is, I think it's 2004. I think this movie, it's weird because this movie really dates itself a lot with all the home phones. There's literally a line where they go into Regina George's room and they're like, put on 98.8. And I was like, what?
Who listens to the radio?
But the thing is, the only reason I say that is because because we just did Superbad, and that's also a high school movie, and it's only a couple years after that, but it doesn't feel like these guys are in the same era or like would go to the same school, Yeah.
No,
Feels
most
like
definitely.
two completely different eras. And I don't know if it's because 2004 was just, I think it was just a transition year because, some of them have cell phones in this movie, right?
Yeah.
Everyone has cell phones, but it's not like the iPhone. They have like iPhones yet.
No, I agree. But it's hard to say. I think the reason it feels so out of place is because some of the jokes are just like using the R word. Like
no, but Superbad has those jokes though.
Yeah,
like
I guess
even
so.
worse. It might even have worse
I guess
jokes.
So.
It's just I don't know.
The culture seems like it's a different time. It feels like it's a different time. I hear you. I feel you. Quotables. Let's talk about these quotables. I think this movie, I have like a list of 5, 6 of them. Let me hear your guys' quotes, or if you haven't said them already, and then I'll go down my list. We can start with you, Audrey.
Okay, I have the gym teachers. If you have sex, you'll get pregnant and die. Okay, take some rubbers. I love that one. It's like I have ESPN or something. It was a great one.
Get yours.
And there's like her, Karen at the end, like touching her boobs and then saying there's a 30% chance it's raining right now. Those are some that are like the off the top of my head, didn't already mention quotables.
She's pretty much Brick from Anchorman. She's pretty much Steve Carell from Anchorman. Says
wild. Yes, she is.
Just says wild shit in the group. It's hilarious, but it makes no sense.
Real question. Is Karen graduating high school?
Yeah. What do you have to do to not graduate?
I don't know, but you can't not know it's raining when it's raining.
Good thing that's not on the test already.
Okay, well, listen, I just feel like if Karen's graduating high school, you are not allowed to not graduate high school. She is bricks, like you just said, just rocks in there, as stupid gets. But Burry, any more quotes?
Well, you took the first one. My God, Danny DeVito, I love your work. In the bathroom is just so good.
Yes.
I'm sorry I called you a gap-toothed bitch. It's not your Your Gap Tooth.
Oh my God.
Is like all-time great. I'm like, I mean, you might as well just not apologize if you're just going to say it like that. Is what you should do, because that is just hilarious. And then I like it's not really a quote, but the Ladysmith Black Boombazo shout out.
Oh my God, I have that in my final thoughts.
I think I saw him live once.
That's
in Boston, but I was like, that's a deep cut. That's a really deep cut.
In that apology sequence, didn't they also have one that was like, I don't hate you because you're fat. You're fat because I hate you.
Yeah.
I thought about that for like way too long. Afterwards, I was like, how did it work? Like, how did the hate make her fat?
It doesn't matter because it's an epic freaking lie. But so I have quite a few here. So let me just go down the list. That gap tooth one was one of my favorites. I love it. I know what you're thinking. Homeschool kids are freaks. We talked about that one. If you're from Africa, why are you white? She's a life ruiner. She ruins people's lives. You smell like a baby prostitute. I don't know what that means, but I love it. I gave him everything. I was half a virgin when I met him.
Mm-hmm.
I love this one. Boo, you whore. Hell no, I did not leave the south side of Chicago for this. And this quote, like this last one I have, is like a serious quote that makes me not only like the movie but respect the Mean Girls movie, because I actually live by this quote. All you can do, and this is at the end when like Lindsay Lohan decides like I'm gonna be a better human being. All you can do in life is try to answer the problem in front of you. When she's at that mathlete and she's making fun of the other chick and she's like, that's not going to help me win this. And she says, all you can do in life is try to answer the problem in front of you. Love that quote. And it's like a serious and a good way of looking at the situation, especially in a movie like Mean Girls. When I was looking up Mean Girls, I had no idea that there was a sequel. I mean,
but it's one of those like Disney, like,
oh yeah, it's not a real sequel.
Yeah, it's like Lion King 1.5 or whatever.
Yes, exactly. So do we have a remake, a recast? Mombori, you love doing these. Did you come up with your special remake, recast version?
I honestly, I tried. It's weird because I don't think these problems happen in college as much, because it's not like, well, at least because I went to a big school, so it's like, it's this kind of like thing where everyone knows everyone's business doesn't really apply. And you can literally do something wild one year or insane and then just move to a different dorm on the other side of campus and just make new friends the next year. And so I thought maybe you like move it to college or whatever, but I don't think that works. So I just think this got to stay as a 2004 time capsule vault movie.
So if you had to recast it, is there any stars, whoever you would like to see in this movie in a 2020 version?
Well, it would probably be, you probably get like one super pop star like Lindsay Lohan at the time. So that'd probably be like Zendaya or the Yara, the woman from Blackish. Yara, I think Yara, something like that. And then you would get and then you would get like up and coming actresses to fill out the rest. Because I mean, Amanda Seyfried, this is her first role. This is her first movie ever.
Wait, it was?
Yeah, and Scarlett Johansson tested for that role too, and I was just like, whoa. I think Scarlett would have like knocked out because I think she can play an idiot pretty well. I didn't mean that right.
Know what you meant, but it's Scarlett Johansson. She's a great actress. Of course, she could have done it. Do you have any recast picks, remakes, versions in your head, Audrey, that you would like to see come to life?
I would love to see Janelle Monáe play Gretchen Peters. You're like, no?
I like it.
Like she'd be a teacher though, right? Because she's a little bit older than
young Janelle Monáe, younger.
Oh, I see that.
I'm imagining younger versions of, because I could not think of Zendaya. You're right. I could not think of like younger actresses at this point. I'm like, I love the cast of Euphoria. I could plug them into any of these roles as well, and they knock it out of the park.
Is Euphoria worth the watch? I mean, every time I see commercial, but I'm like, I don't know if I should be on an acid trip, if I need to, like, I don't know what I need to do to watch this movie, but it looks wild. I mean,
I'm getting an HBO account.
It's so good. It's incredibly good. Before this was like Zendaya, who, like, whatever. And then I watched it and I was like, I am in love with Zendaya. Like, oh my God. She's so talented. Highly recommend.
I have no recast or remake, but I always wanted to know, because I always thought that what's his name? Lizzie McGuire? I always thought that she was like a little bit better of an actress, but I don't think she is. I think Lindsay Lohan is way better, especially.
No, Lindsay Lohan did what's that movie where the twins?
With the twins as a little kid, yeah. So I think Lindsay is probably the better choice.
It's wild because this movie is probably like the Lindsay Lohan movie I've seen the least. Because I've definitely seen Parent Trap.
Parent Trap is a great movie.
And
it's a legit good movie.
And Freaky Friday more than this movie.
I don't understand your Freaky Friday obsession here.
Because I've watched them all at school. I've definitely watched Parent Trap multiple times during school. And I know what this says about our education system, but
I think Amanda Bynes would have been a good plug-in too.
Ooh.
Damn, that's a deep cut.
That is yes, Amanda Bynes. But I feel like the Lindsay Lohan pick for the remake in 2020, or like a few years ago, would have been like a Hannah Montana. Like if Hannah Montana could be the new girl at her school, because that's basically what Hannah Montana was, right? Like she was this nice little girl who was a superstar.
If they were doing a sequel now following her character, it would be like Mean Girls Back to Africa.
I would watch that. It would be so bad, and I would watch it.
It would be terrible.
It would be the worst thing ever.
Yeah.
It would be the worst thing ever. It would be the worst thing ever.
So bad.
She's now a teacher in like Uganda, and all the mean girls are now like in a private school in Uganda, and she's like now the Tina Fey character.
That would be fucking dope. See, this is a remake I can get behind, Mumbury. This is a remake I can get behind. Any final thoughts, you guys? Audrey, thank you so much for joining us. I think this was fantastic. I'm happy we did this because I needed to do Mean Girls. It's just that we have to do it. Mean Girls is a millennial staple. But any final thoughts, Burry or Audrey?
We skipped over because we didn't really give Lizzie Kaplan and the dude Damien and Janice a lot of screen time.
Yes.
But there's a scene where they're like, there's like a couple scenes where it's like, it almost feels like Ocean's 11 when they're like on the whiteboard sketching out how they're going to do this and how they're planning this. I really like it when it turns into a heist movie for like 10 minutes, 15 minutes. And then it also turns into like it goes into like undercover work, and she's like too deep in, and she becomes the plastics that she was trying to fight against, and then she got to come back out. But yeah, I thought it was pretty good. I know the plot's not exactly the driver of the story, but
I'm happy you brought them both up, Jesse and Damien, just because they were great. Like the very short time that they were on screen, they were fantastic. I love that first day of school when they were like, don't sit behind him. He farts a lot. Oh, they hook up a lot. I like that. And I think Damien is fucking hilarious the whole time. I mean, he's at the girls' meeting with his hood on and glasses. Like, what are you doing, guy? What are you doing? He's fantastic, right? Too gay to function. That's another quote, but I thought maybe let me not add it to things I like, right? But yes, Audrey, any final thoughts? Any last things about the movie?
Yeah, I think the like layers of tropes that they play with, like Burry was saying, where it's like you've got the heist movie tropes, you have the mean girl tropes, you have like all these different things that are being layered on each other, where it feels super normal, and it's like not like a scary movie kind of spoof where you're like, what is going on? All of this is ridiculous. Like you can follow it, but then you're also laughing at everyone the entire time.
100%.
Like, I love that. I love that you can watch it seriously or you can hate everyone at the same time, and it like works every way you watch it.
We might actually have to do one of those scary movie spoof movies for millennial
boy.
classics. Not because they're really good, but because I think they're so 2000s.
Oh yeah.
Like they don't even make them anymore. But like scary movie.
Still watch them. My 12-year-old students were like,
Really?
Miss Thorne, can we watch Scary Movie 5? I was like, why the 5th one?
What? Do they even get the references?
No. The 5th one they would, but the first 2 were legitimately funny movies.
But those were 90s. But like in the 2000s when everyone did them and it was like Date Movie and there were a couple other ones.
We'll have to decide on which one we do or which ones we do. But I like the first 2 scary movies are legitimate comedies that I would watch. After that, it just became bullshit. I mean, like the Wayans brothers do one every other year now and it goes straight to Netflix. I mean, it's not, you know what I mean? Like it's pretty shit, right?
A lot of brothers to feed, man.
I bet. Audrey, you guys, ladies and gentlemen, Lights, Camera, Analysis. That's the podcast that Audrey is from.
You guys did an episode together. That was really good.
Oh, yes. We did White Chicks. Together if you want to hear me talk some more. But listen, go there. Go listen to all of them. Audrey, it's a lot more serious and it's a very different podcast, but it is a movie podcast. If you like watching movies and listening to people talk about them, it's another podcast you most definitely should go watch. It's the link's going to be in the description box below. And we're going to have her Instagram, all of the Facebooks, all of the social. Go there, go check it out. Thank you for joining us, Audrey. Ladies and gentlemen, listen, I don't care who you are. It's the Mean Girls. This is a cultural staple. This is a classic on its own. And if you are a millennial, it's an absolute must. Go sit down, go watch it, and go enjoy yourself. And if you don't, boo, whore. But I'll catch you guys next Tuesday. Deuces.